My beloved child, a sacred door in time is opening not by accident, but according to a plan set before the ages. That current does not touch you alone. It is reaching thousands of souls being called to awaken across the earth. They, like you, are seeds sown into the same season, roused in the same hour, to enter a new cycle of grace and power. You are not a bystander. You are a living thread in the great tapestry I am weaving with light and loving kindness. Yet, my child, before you cross that threshold, you must be prepared. Great grace is always accompanied by deep endurance, not to make you tremble, but to make your soul strong enough to receive what I am about to give. Understand this, I do not bless you merely so you may rest easy. I am preparing you to become an instrument that carries blessing to many. I am widening your sight so that you see not only the present moment, but also the sacred meaning hidden within every turn of events. I have looked into the depths of your heart, into the place where dreams dwell that you have not dared to name, and into the wounds you hide for fear that someone might touch them. You thought you had covered them well, yet I was there present in every broken breath. I saw the nights when you smiled for others and wept in silence. I saw how you strained to believe while doubt pressed heavily upon you. And I stood beside you, not as a distant idea, but as a father laying his hand upon your shoulder, silent yet steadfast. My child, not one tear of yours has fallen without my knowing. Not one whispered prayer in the dark has gone unheard by me. When you thought I was silent, I was speaking in a way only your soul could perceive. When you felt forgotten, I was hidden, refining you to stand as gold tested in fire. Do you not know that your loneliest hours are the very ones in which I am nearest? When the noises of the world finally fade, then you can hear my voice murmuring within. There are things I have not revealed at once, not because I would leave you waiting in pain, but because I am teaching you to trust when you cannot yet see. I want you to learn that true faith is not measured by feeling, but by steadiness in the space where answers have not arrived. I know there are days you ask, Lord, do you really hear me? I know there are nights when you lie still and your heart threatens to break from solitude, but in that very darkness, I am laying the foundation for your rising. Night is not the sign that I have abandoned you. It is the veil beneath which the seed within you can germinate in quiet. When the light comes, it will not merely shine upon you, it will blaze forth from within you. For you have been chosen not because you are flawless, but because you were appointed for a sacred purpose. I saw the potential in you when all you could see was your weakness. I chose you not for your strength, but for a heart that seeks me amid the ruins. I chose you because you dare to love where others close their hearts, because you dare to stand where many kneel to fear. This is why you are summoned into this time stream, a time of unveiling, of restoration, and of spiritual triumph. Prepare yourself, for this current will bring joy, and it will also bring testing. Do not be afraid. Testing is not sent to destroy you, but to refine you. When the wind changes, do not fear. When familiar things fall away, remember that I am clearing the path for the new. Each time you think you are losing, you are in truth being set free. Each time you feel pushed to the margins, I am separating you from what no longer fits your calling. My child, stand firm. Remember, I never call you to walk alone. I have sent my angels ahead of you to open the way for trembling feet. I have appointed encounters you do not yet know, and doors you have not yet seen. Your part is to keep a faithful heart. Do not strive to understand everything. Trust that I understand. Let me be the light that leads you, the breath within your prayer, the strength when you think you have none left. My beloved child, listen closely, for you are stepping onto a timeline unlike any other, an itinerary written by my own hand, before the stars were kindled and before the first breath touched humanity. That timeline aligns with no one else's, for it carries the private music I composed for you alone. Every note is a moment, every beat a step, and every pulse within your heart keeps time with the rhythm I set from the beginning. My beloved child, within this sacred flow of time, there are divine intersections, moments where my intention meets your choice, where the grace I pour out encounters the faith you respond with. It is at these intersections that miracles are born. They are not merely bursts of brilliance, but also the quiet seasons when you choose to believe amid the impossible. Each time you choose to obey my word, even when you do not fully understand, you are opening a new pathway, a doorway leading to the plans I have inscribed for your life. I do not force, for true love never controls. I invite because I honor the freedom I placed within your soul. I stand at the threshold of your heart, gently knocking with a tender call, "My child, walk with me." I do not grasp your hand by strength, but by gentleness. When you open your heart, my hand has long been there, waiting only to guide you through the winding paths of destiny. I want you to understand, nothing in your life is random. Every delay, every detour, every tear, each one fits within a pattern of love and purpose. There will be moments when you wonder why your path seems different from others, why your dreams appear to demand such costly trials. But my beloved, that very difference is the mark that you have been chosen for a unique journey. When I set you within your own stream of time, I also placed within you abilities that only you carry. There are things I can accomplish only through you, for only you possess the heart, the story, and the light that can reveal my glory to the world. In this timeline, there will be seasons when you feel as though I am silent. Yet my silence is not absence. It is the sacred space where you learn to hear the rhythm of heaven through your own soul. It is the moment I invite you to walk not by sight, but by faith. When you choose to believe the veil between heaven and earth parts, and what I have promised begins to take shape, not in an instant, but through every steady step you take in trust. I see every time you stand at the crossroads of decision, your heart trembling between fear and faith. Do you know, my child, that in that very moment, all of heaven holds its breath, watching to see what you will choose? When you choose to trust, I move immediately. When you whisper, "Lord, I do not understand, but I trust you," the course of your time shifts. It aligns with my goodness, and everything that once seemed random begins to work together for your purpose. My child, my timeline is not confined by what you see. You perceive each day as a series of separate events, but I behold the entire tapestry of glory being woven together. Every thread, joy or sorrow, contributes to a masterpiece that you will only see in full when you look back from eternity. Therefore, do not fear the unknown. Do not let worry about tomorrow cause you to forget that I hold both the beginning and the end of this story. There are people I allow to walk with you for a season, and then they depart. There are dreams I let you begin only to pause them midway. Do not resent this, my child, for I never take away without purpose. Each time I close a door, I am opening another that fits the season ahead. Your timeline does not end in the present. It is moving toward a higher destination where you are not only redeemed but transformed to reflect my glory. I know there are times you grow weary and long to stop, but every step you take carries eternal weight. Even when you move only a little, I am working behind the scenes. When you pray, I rewrite the course. When you worship in silence, I realign the orbit. When you weep without understanding, I weave into your tears a thread of hope that will one day shine. My child, I have ordained that in this divine timeline you will not merely survive, you will be sent. Every wound you have borne will become a testimony of healing. Every tear you have shed will turn into a spring of comfort for others. I have chosen you to be a lamp in my hand, a light for wandering souls. But before that light can shine, it must first be refined in the darkness. That is why you walk through what you walk through, so that the light within you will not remain a fragile flame, but a blazing torch that no shadow can extinguish. Therefore, my child, walk in peace. This stream of time is not working against you. It is clearing the path before you. Each event does not arise to hinder you, but to deepen the roots of your faith. Every trial is not a wall but a training ground to steady your steps. And when you arrive at the place where faith meets my plan, you will see that every promise I have spoken is true, and every word I have uttered has never fallen to the ground in vain. I do not compel you. I invite you. I invite you to step into a life not driven by fear, but propelled by love. I invite you to walk with me through every decision and every breath. I invite you to become an extension of heaven upon the earth. And if you agree, my beloved, your timeline will no longer be a mere procession of days, but a song I will sing through the universe. My beloved child, in this season doors will appear before you. Some will open wide, overflowing with light that beckons you forward, while others will open just a crack, as if waiting for your soul to grow still enough to hear my whisper. But remember this, not every open door comes from me, and not every closed one is a rejection. Some doors I open to lead you into a new season, but others I keep shut to protect you from what you are not yet ready to face. I am the one who holds the keys to every door I open and no one can shut. I close and no one can open. Yet I only place the key in the hands of those who know how to pause and listen before they rush ahead. My child, this moment demands greater spiritual discernment than ever before. The world will present countless paths that appear right, but only one leads to my true intention. Some opportunities will glitter on the surface, yet conceal bonds that will weary your soul. Others will seem small and unimpressive, but within them lie treasures of growth and blessings you have never known. To discern the difference, you cannot rely on emotion or your own understanding. You must depend on my voice, the gentle whisper that speaks within the sound that only rises when you silence the noise and dwell in my presence. There are things I am arranging that your eyes cannot yet perceive. They lie hidden beneath the surface like seeds, sleeping in the soil before spring awakens them. You may feel as though nothing is happening, but in truth I am working in the deeper layers, the layer of identity, of faith, of steadfastness. For the door I am preparing for you cannot be opened through haste. It only opens to a soul refined in stillness. What unfolds in silence is the training ground for the glory that is to come. My child, I know you long for a clear sign, a concrete confirmation of which way is right. But you must understand, I do not always guide through blazing light sometimes. I lead through the quiet peace that rests like a breath upon your heart. When you stand before two doors, do not judge by their appearance. Listen to your heart. Wherever peace dwells, even if small and fragile, there I am. Wherever you must compromise your faithfulness to gain advantage, there I am not. Choose stillness over haste, prayer over impulse, for my voice is heard in the quiet, not in the noise. There are doors you once longed for me to open, but I have closed them. You have knocked and wept before them, thinking I did not hear. But I closed them not to hurt you, but to protect your soul from what lay beyond. You saw limitation, I saw protection. You saw loss, I saw deliverance. One day when you look back, you will thank me for not granting what you begged for. I only open the doors that lead you to the place I have destined for you, the place of true freedom, the place where you become wholly yourself in my light. There are doors that open only slightly, as if to test your patience. I do not fling them wide at once because I want you to learn to walk by faith, not by sight. When your hand rests upon such a door, you will hear my gentle whisper to, are you willing to step in, even when you do not know what lies beyond? If your heart says yes, that is the very moment I unfold the wonder you never expected. For faith has always been the key that unlocks the gates of heaven. My beloved child, what I am preparing for you does not unfold upon a grand stage, but behind the curtain of silence. I am teaching you the strength of discipline, the power of steadfastness, and the beauty of faithfulness when no one is watching. I am laying deep foundations within you, so that when glory arrives, you will stand firm without pride. The small things you do today, your whispered prayers, your kind deeds, your honest choices, are the very bricks I am using to build the door you will one day walk through. I am never in haste, because I know the precise moment you will be ready. Trust that I am never late. I am exact. When the season comes, the door will open softly, without you needing to knock it down or strive in exhaustion. All that once worried you will fall perfectly into place, for my doors open by grace, not by effort. And when you step through, you will understand every season of waiting, every trial, every tear had its purpose. They were the price that prepared you to cross that threshold with gratitude instead of pride. Therefore, my child, do not rush after things that appear urgent. Slow your steps so your heart can hear the rhythm of mine. Let me be the light that guides your every move, the one who shows you when to knock, when to wait, and when to step forward. I do not want you merely to walk through a door. I want you to walk into destiny. And destiny opens only to those who are patient enough to listen, humble enough to learn, and bold enough to believe even when they cannot see. In this season, my beloved, stay closer to me than ever before. Do not only ask me to open doors, ask me to give you spiritual eyes to discern, for if you remain near me, you will never be deceived. My light will illuminate every hidden corner, and you will clearly know which door leads to life and which leads to wandering. Let me be your compass, your breath, and the hand that unlocks what you have never dared to dream. You see, the doors I open do not merely lead to blessings, they lead to transformation. When you walk through, you will no longer be who you were. You will emerge stronger, deeper, and filled with greater light. So do not fear the doors still closed. Do not fear the threshold still dim. I am writing the continuation of your story, and every door in this season is a movement in the grand symphony of grace, where you and I walk together, step by step, opening what is new beneath an endless sky. My beloved one, never dismiss the days that seem uneventful, those mornings when you awaken and feel your life has become a dull repetition, showing no sign of anything great to come. My child, it is in those very days that I work most powerfully. When the surface is still, that is when roots are stretching deep into the soil. When everything around you seems motionless within you, I am building the foundation for what your eyes have yet to see. Every lasting destiny requires a solid base, and foundations are never formed in haste. They are shaped in quiet perseverance, in the small decisions where you choose faith over complaint, prayer over grumbling, and steadfastness over surrender. I know there are days when you ask, why isn't anything changing? Why do all my efforts seem to vanish into nothing? But in those silent hours, I am rearranging the entire structure within you. You are being prepared to carry what once you could not sustain. A mighty tree cannot stand tall unless its roots have endured dry seasons. In the same way, you cannot bear the weight of your calling without walking through the hidden season where I seem absent, the season when I teach you to trust even when you cannot see. Remember, when I am silent, it does not mean I am gone. When you do not see me act, it is because I am preparing you to receive the miracle. The small obediences you practice today are the seeds of great doors that will open tomorrow. Every time you choose to follow my voice, even in the smallest thing, you are rewriting the current of your destiny. Obedience is not a burden, it is the key that opens the door of grace. There are things I have asked you to do that no one understands or notices, yet I see them all. Every quiet act you do for me becomes a stone laid for your future. When you learn to be faithful in the little, you are made ready for the great. I never entrust a treasure to one untested in faithfulness. So be patient. My child, believe that every step you take, however small, holds eternal meaning within my divine design. You may not realize it, my beloved one, but when you pray, I am orchestrating things far beyond your understanding. You may think you are merely waiting, yet I am weaving a wondrous tapestry. You see only a few scattered threads, but I see the whole design. Every delay, every unanswered request carries a purpose. You may wish for everything to unfold now, but I long for it to unfold rightly. For a blessing that comes before its time can become a burden, while a miracle that arrives in its appointed season brings life. Soon you will see that when the time is ripe, I will bring before you people you never expected to meet. They will not appear by chance. Some will be guides reminding you of promises you once forgot. Others will walk beside you in journeys you cannot take alone. Every encounter carries a heavenly purpose. I use strangers to open new chapters. I use surprises to soften your heart so that you may recognize that I can come in any form, through a word, a glance, or a seemingly ordinary moment. But my child, to recognize these people, your heart must be pure. If your heart is clouded with bitterness, fear, or doubt, you will fail to see me among those I send. Many have missed grace simply because they looked through eyes veiled by old wounds. You must let me heal what made you close yourself off. Do not hold on to pain as proof of strength. Give it to me, and I will turn it into a mark of grace. When your heart is cleansed, you will see me in what once seemed trivial. You will discern my hand in those you thought were mere coincidences. Do not be quick to judge someone by appearance or position. The one I send to help you may seem weak, yet within their words lies the answer you've been searching for. I may use someone unseen by the world to hand you the key to breakthrough. I do not measure by fame. I look at the heart. If you wish to see me move, learn to look through the eyes of the Spirit, not the gaze of the world. Prepare your heart, my child. Do not let the distractions of this life dull your awareness of what is sacred and near. I am leading you through a refining journey, not to punish but to purify. When you are ready, everything will unfold faster than you imagine. Yet if fear still governs you, I cannot place heavier things upon your shoulders. Fear extinguishes the lamp of spiritual discernment, but faith ignites it. Let your faith burn bright in your dimmest days, for that is the sign you are walking the right path. Do not fear long silences. Do not despise the seasons that seem wasted. They are not empty. They are the ground where I am planting seeds. When the season comes, you will see that what once seemed meaningless was the foundation of everything. Each time you choose forgiveness, you open a new road. Each time you reject bitterness, you step into a higher blessing. Each time you choose love, you open heaven's gate, right in the midst of earth. Never underestimate small acts, for they are the fingerprints of my kingdom upon your life. And then there will come a day when you look back and see every silence, every waiting, every trial had its reason. You will understand that I never wasted a single second of your life. Every slow rhythm, every pause, every tear was part of the perfect design I had planned. You will smile not because life became easy, but because you finally realize I never left. You will know that I was there, in the waiting, in the quiet, in every breath. My beloved child, I have heard your voice in the night, the whispered longing for clarity, for a sign, for reassurance that you are not lost. So many times you have prayed, Lord, please show me I am on the right path. And I have answered, not with thunder from the heavens nor flashes of lightning, but through the small and gentle things you often overlook. I speak through the soft breath of dawn, through the calm flow of water, through the loving eyes of someone you thought was merely passing by. Do not seek me in the noise of the world, for my voice does not blend with chaos. My voice is found in the stillness where the soul stops running and simply listens. My beloved child, I do not hide myself. I simply speak in a way that only those whose hearts are still can hear. When I speak, it is not always through your ears, but through your soul. Sometimes it is that sudden peace arriving in a moment when fear should have ruled. Sometimes it is the gentle prompting that makes you stop even when your reason urges you to move forward. Sometimes it is a dream, a scripture that suddenly comes alive, or a word from someone that awakens your spirit. I am always speaking, guiding, and showing the way, but you must learn to recognize my voice among the countless others. Do not seek me only in what is extraordinary, for my wonders often hide within what seems simple. Moses heard me in the burning bush. Elijah recognized me, not in the wind, nor the earthquake, nor the fire, but in a gentle whisper. So it will be with you. I will not come to you through noise or chaos, but through stillness. Learn to love silence, for in that sacred quiet you will find my living presence. When your mind ceases to chase answers, your heart will finally begin to hear my voice. There will be seasons along your journey when everything will suddenly accelerate beyond your understanding. Things that once seemed motionless will begin to break forth. Dreams you thought had died will rise again. Prayers that long seemed unanswered will burst forth like rivers breaking their banks. There will come a moment when I, the Lord of Time, will suddenly hasten the process. You will sense the energy of heaven moving around you, as though every gate opens at once, as though heaven and earth have agreed to propel you forward. But my child, do not let the intensity of that movement overwhelm you. When spiritual velocity increases, only those who have prepared in secret will stand firm. You cannot wait until the door opens to start seeking oil. Your lamp must already be filled. Like the 10 virgins in the parable, the wise are those who stay ready. They did not slumber in idleness. They waited with patience, their lamps still burning when the bridegroom arrived. So must you keep your lamp aflame. Do not let weariness or disappointment extinguish the fire within. That is why I speak to you now. I am warning you not to frighten you, but to prepare you. Every opportunity in my kingdom requires readiness. Every promise demands a heart humble enough and steadfast enough to carry it. If you wait until the wind of grace begins to blow, before you ready yourself, you will be swept away rather than lifted up. You must train now through disciplined prayer, through attentive listening, through guarding your purity and faithfulness in secret places. That is how you store oil for your lamp. You may ask, how will I know if I am ready? My child, when your heart is no longer restless, when you choose to trust me, even before you see, when you learn to rejoice in waiting and give thanks amid imperfection, then you are ready. Readiness is not about having every answer. It is about having enough faith to walk forward even when the path is unseen. It is the faith of Abraham, who left his homeland without knowing where he was going. It is the obedience of Mary, who said, "Be it unto me according to your word," though she could not yet understand the road ahead. You do not need to comprehend everything, you only need a heart willing to trust. When the acceleration comes, all that was stagnant will begin to move, but that motion will reveal each person's true foundation. Those built upon the rock will stand, those built upon sand will fall. Therefore, I am strengthening your foundation before the wind arrives. I do not wish for you to rise for a moment and then collapse. I want you to stand firm and finish the journey. Each day you spend in my presence, you are building deeper roots. Each time you choose forgiveness over resentment, patience over haste, you are pouring concrete into the foundation of your destiny. Remember, my beloved, the promises I have given you are not illusions. They are real, and they are drawing near. Yet you must understand, between the promise and its fulfillment lies a sacred space of preparation. I do not delay, I develop. I do not forget, I perfect. For what I promise is not only what you will receive, but who you will become. If I were to give you everything you desire without first shaping your character, the blessing would become a burden. But when you are prepared, the blessing will become a crown. Therefore, my child, keep your heart awake. When you feel the stirring to pray more deeply, when you are awakened in the middle of the night with an unexplainable longing, do not ignore it, for it is I who am calling you. Respond to me. When I awaken your soul, it is a sign that a season of movement is approaching. Keep your lamp burning. Do not let the flame of faith grow dim because of weariness. Feed it with my word, with praise, with gratitude, and with obedience in even the smallest things. You will see when the appointed time comes, you will not need to strive, force, or compete, for I, myself, will open the doors before you in a natural way. What I have destined for you, no one can steal. As you walk in preparation, opportunities will find you at the right time, in the right place, and in the right manner. Then you will understand why I asked you to wait, why I kept you in stillness for a time. Everything I do moves to its own rhythm, and if you can keep pace with that rhythm, you will never fall out of harmony with heaven. Remember, my child, the silence of today is the opening song of tomorrow's triumph. Cherish this season of preparation, for it is here that faith is formed, loyalty is refined, and the inner light within you is kindled. When the season of movement arrives and doors swing open all at once, you will not panic or be caught unprepared. You will walk in peace, knowing that I had already spoken of this time. You will be ready, your lamp will be lit, and your oil will be full. My beloved one, listen closely to my words in this hour, when the world has grown noisier than ever before. The voices of men of public opinion, of fear and ambition, are all clamoring to be heard, competing for your attention. They surge like waves, trying to define you, to label you, to pull you away from the true identity I engraved upon your soul from the beginning. If you do not guard your mind, if you do not discern what is allowed to dwell within you, will gradually lose the spiritual sensitivity that enables you to recognize my voice amid the multitude of false sounds. Do not let your soul become a public square for every voice to enter. Every word you allow into your thoughts plants a seed of faith, of doubt, of fear, or of hope. You must tend the garden of your heart like a wise gardener, pulling out the weeds before they spread. When you open yourself to too many sources of noise, you begin to lose clarity. What is true and what is false? What is my voice and what is the world's? Make room for me to speak. My child, for my voice never competes for space. It resounds only in quiet hearts where all other sounds have faded away. I know you live in an age where everyone has something to say. All seek to be heard, to be believed, to be praised. But you were not born to blend into that noise, you were called out from it. You were destined to become a different sound, the sound of truth, of love, of light. That can only happen if you preserve sacred silence within the space where I can speak, guide, and strengthen you step by step. There will be times when you are misunderstood, judged, or labeled as too different, too quiet, or too set apart. But my child, being misunderstood by men is far better than being misaligned with me. The approval of the world lasts only a moment, but harmony with me brings eternal life. Do not strive to make everyone understand you, for many cannot comprehend what I am doing within you. They cannot see the depth I am building. They only notice the surface. You do not need to justify yourself, for time will bear witness to what is mine. When you choose to obey me, you do not need to be understood, you only need to be faithful. There will be things I ask you to lay down, and at times you will not understand why. It is not because they are sinful or wrong in the eyes of others, but because they are slowing your steps. Some things may seem harmless, yet they weigh down your soul and keep you from soaring with the wind of my spirit. I am not taking away your joy. I am pruning what hinders you from touching true joy. Trust me, for I know what will make you lighter, freer, and stronger for the journey ahead. There will also be disciplines I call you to carry. They are not burdens, but pathways that lead you into true freedom. At times I call you to pray while others sleep, or to remain silent when others argue. Sometimes I urge you to turn away from convenience to choose what is right. These disciplines are not meant to test you, but to shape you. They help you stand firm when storms rise and stay balanced when the world sways. Do not think of discipline as punishment, my child. It is the instrument through which I position you where my light can shine through you. My beloved one, I do not call you into the chains of religion or the weight of rigid rules. I did not create you to live in fear, straining to please me. My yoke is gentle, and my burden is light, but it feels light only when you stop resisting. When you pull in another direction, you will feel its weight. When you try to steer the journey by your own understanding, weariness will follow. But when you yield into my hands, when you let me guide each step, you will find the heaviness vanish, leaving only peace. My child, learn to rest in my leading. Do not believe you must understand everything in order to follow. You only need to trust. When I say pause, it is not delay, it is protection. When I say go, though the path ahead seems unseen, it is not recklessness, it is the direction of love. I never ask you to do anything without walking through it with you. When I call you to let go of a habit, I give you the strength to overcome it. When I place a discipline upon your shoulders, I also place joy in your heart to sustain it. The world will say, you must run faster, speak louder, argue stronger, and showcase yourself more. But I say, slow down, be still, and let me act. You were not made to live by noise. You were made to shine through peace. True power is not found in shouting, but in the stillness that knows to whom it belongs. When others rush after the crowd, learn to stand still. When others fight to be heard, choose silence that listens for my voice. For in that silence you will receive wisdom the world cannot give. Remember, my child, stillness is not weakness. It is power under control. A peaceful heart can shake the heavens. When you stand firm in me, no voice can shake you. When you know who I am, you no longer need anyone else to define you. I have called you by name and engraved you in the palm of my hand. No opinion, no judgment can alter that truth. You are mine, and mine alone is the authority to say who you are. Therefore, guard your mind as you would guard a lamp. Do not let it be extinguished by the winds of public opinion or the storms of emotion. Listen for my voice in every moment. When you grow weary from being misunderstood, remember I understand you. When others doubt you, remember I believe in you. When you are rejected, remember I have chosen you. Stand upon that truth, for it will anchor you when the world spins in chaos. My child, I am teaching you something precious. Peace does not come when everything around you is quiet, but when your heart is at rest in me. Amid the storm of opinions, words, and judgments, you can stand firm like a tree planted by streams of water, for your roots are not in the world, but in the kingdom. Keep your mind stayed on me, and I will keep you in perfect peace through every storm. And one day when you look back, you will see that every discipline, every surrender, every season of silence was not in vain. They were the threads that bound you closer to me, that made your spirit sensitive to heaven's whisper and strong amidst the world's tremors. You will realize that when you chose to hear me, instead of the world, you stepped into another rhythm, the rhythm of peace, of grace, and of divine guidance. My beloved child, do not fear when I call you away from the crowd, for it is in that separation that you will find me most clearly. When you keep your mind quiet, you make room for my voice to rise. When you choose obedience over recognition, you move closer to the center of my will. Let me teach you to live slowly in a hurried world, to listen amid the noise, and to love in a world starved of compassion. For when you live this way, you will not only hear my voice, you will become my voice to a world that has lost its way. My beloved child, when I call you to let go, do not be afraid. I know there are things, people, and places that once brought you comfort, safe harbors where your heart found rest in a certain season. They were chapters of grace in your story, places where you learned to love, to grow, and to stand firm. Yet, my child, every season has its end, and not everything that was once a blessing in the old season is meant to be carried into the new. Some things that once supported you will become burdens if you cling to them too long. Some people who once brought light will, if held beyond their time, cast shadows over the very light I now wish to shine through you. I do not ask you to let go so that you would lose, but so that you may be free. Some connections are not wrong, but they no longer fit the path your spirit must now walk. Some places that once sheltered you are now only memories. Some habits that once stabilized you are now hindering your soul's maturity. You cannot carry everything into the future, for you were never created to bear the heavy load. You were created to soar with me. Letting go is not forgetting, it is entrusting. It is not denying the value of what was, but believing that I am preparing something new. Each time I call you to release something, I am not merely taking it from your hands. I am opening your palms to receive something greater. If you keep holding on to what is old, there will be no space for the new that I long to give. Many fear change because they think it means loss. Yet change is the language I use to draw you nearer to your true destiny. Look back and you will see every time you released what I asked, I replaced it with something better, deeper, and closer to your heart. I have never taken without restoring with greater fullness. But the blessing never arrives until your hands are willing to let go. True faith is not only believing that I will give, but trusting me even when I take away. It is believing that even when my hand seems closed, it is still filled with love. That every departure in your life unfolds within the mercy of my plan. There will be people you must part from, not because they are bad, but because their path no longer aligns with yours. Some souls are placed beside you only for a season to teach you something, and then they go. Do not hold on out of fear of loneliness, for your loneliness is not emptiness. It is the space I am preparing to fill with my presence. Learn to bless those who leave. Do not accuse, do not grieve, as those without hope. For when you keep your heart at peace, you will see that their departure too was part of my divine design. Everyone has a purpose in your story, and when their role is complete, I will turn the page to a new chapter. Do not be confused when new people enter your life. Some will stay only for a short season, bringing a message, a lesson, or a blessing from me. Others will pass by like a gentle breeze, carrying heaven's fragrance, reminding you that I am near. And then there will be those I send to walk beside you, for the long journey, souls whose hearts beat in harmony with yours. They will not demand that you prove yourself, for they will recognize my mark upon you. My child, do not cling to what has expired in my plan. Some relationships, if kept too long, become chains. Some places, if you refuse to leave, will drain your strength without leading you forward. Some habits, though seemingly harmless, quietly smother the fire of your spirit. When I say, it is enough, it is not rejection, it is protection. I see what you cannot. I know what lies ahead and what could harm you, and I love you too much to let you remain trapped in what once was. You may cry, you may grieve, you may ache as you let go, I know. I do not speak with cold command, but with a heart that understands. I too have witnessed betrayal. I have seen those I love turn away from me. Yet through those moments I taught you that true love does not cling, it releases. When you learn to let go in love, you begin to mirror me. For true love does not seek to possess, it seeks to set free. And then one day you will look back and realize that everything I asked you to leave behind was for a good reason. You will understand that if I had not closed those doors, you would have never been able to step through the threshold of something new. You will see that every loss was my way of emptying your hands so that I could place something eternal within them. No loss is ever truly a loss when it rests in my hands. My child, when I change the relationships around you, I am not bringing chaos into your life. I am rearranging it so that everything aligns with the rhythm of heaven. I am sending new people your way, those who can see the true value in you, those who love you, not only for who you are, but because they recognize that I live within you. Some will lift you higher, some will help you carry the load, and others will reflect my light back to you, so you may learn to love deeper, forgive faster, and believe stronger. Each person I send carries a piece of the tapestry of grace I am weaving through your life, so do not fear change, my child. Change is not a sign of instability. It is proof that you are alive. Everything that lives must move, and every soul that grows must learn to let go of what no longer fits. When I lead you out of one season, it is not because that season was bad, but because the new one has come. You cannot plant the seeds of the old season into new soil, they will not bloom. Let me plant new seeds within you, so that you may bear fruit in my appointed time. My beloved one, when I say let go, release it in peace. When I say go, walk forward in trust. And when I say wait, be patient. I am the one directing the flow of time. I know when you need someone beside you, when you need silence, and when you are ready to be led into something new. Your only task is obedience, for I have never once failed in any of my plans. Do not mourn the past, for your future is far more radiant. What I am preparing for you cannot be compared to what you once had. When you loosen your grip on the old, you make room to receive the best that I have destined for you. Believe that nothing leaves your life without my power to turn it for good. Every loss has purpose, every farewell has its time, and every ending is the beginning of something deeper. My child, walk gently. Bless what has been, and open your heart to what is coming. Do not carry fear with you, for where I am taking you, peace will be waiting. Do not look back, for ahead lies a new path where grace will cover your steps like morning dew. Let me lead you. Trust me with every step, and you will see nothing you have ever lost, because of me, will be meaningless. All of it is part of my shaping work, forming you into the person I have seen since before you knew your own name. And when you stand in a new season looking back at what you released, you will no longer see loss, you will see wisdom. You will understand that every goodbye, every closed door, every person who walked away was a note in the grand symphony of redemption I am composing in your life. Then you will realize that nothing was ever truly taken. It was transformed, elevated, and offered up to become part of something far greater. My beloved child, be steadfast when you feel the headwinds rise around you. The resistance you face is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is proof that the light within you is growing. As the light increases, darkness is forced to reveal itself. The light not only shines outward, but also inward, illuminating the hidden corners you once avoided. You will discover fragments of fear, pride, or pain you thought had disappeared. But my child, do not be ashamed, and do not despair. When I allow you to see them, it is not to condemn you, but so that you and I may work together to remove them, to free you more completely than ever before. Light never comes to condemn, it comes to heal. It reveals what was hidden, bringing to the surface wounds long buried in shadow. When you see in yourself the things you dislike, do not turn away. Bring them to me. I am not surprised by your stumbles, nor am I disappointed by your slow steps. Before you ever knew me, I saw all your limits, every weakness you would encounter, and still I chose you. I did not choose you because you were strong. I chose you so that my strength could be revealed through you. My beloved child, do you think I seek perfection from you? No, what I seek is honesty. You need not hide anything from me, for I already know it all. I do not look for shelter in flawless souls. I dwell within hearts that are humble enough to admit they need redemption. It is through the cracks of brokenness that my light seeps in. It is in your weakness that my grace becomes complete. When you stop trying to prove your worth, you will realize that I have long seen you as worthy, not because of your achievements, but because of my unconditional love for you. The opposition you face does not always come from others. Sometimes it rises within from the part of your soul still clinging to the old ways, from the part of you afraid of change. But remember, this no transformation ever occurs without friction. The fire of refinement does not come to destroy gold, but to purify it. In the same way, every trial that reaches you is not meant to break you, but to shape you into the image I intended. When you feel exposed, when the unlovely parts of you are revealed, know that you are in the love, my furnace, the place where fire does not consume, but cleanses. My child, I have never withdrawn my hand from you, not even in the days when you despised yourself, not even in the nights when you thought I had turned away. If you feel distant from me, it is not because I have left you, but because I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by feelings. There are times I remain silent, not because I have abandoned you, but because I am waiting for you to understand that my love is not dependent on emotion, but is an unchanging truth. Even when you cannot see, I am still working. Even when you cannot feel, I am still holding your hand through every step. My beloved, let your heart rest in this truth. There is nothing in you that could make me withdraw my love. You cannot sin so greatly that I stop loving you, nor can you perform so perfectly that I love you more. My love does not rise or fall with your actions. It is eternal, deeper than the ocean, stronger than time itself. When you fall, I do not turn away. When you fail, I do not reject you. I enter into the ruins beside you to rebuild together. I am not afraid of your darkness. I only want you to invite me into it, so that my light may renew all things. There will be days when everything seems to turn against you, when those who once stood beside you no longer understand, when your words are twisted, when your intentions are doubted. Remember, my child, I too was misunderstood. I know the pain of isolation, betrayal, and opposition. Yet in those very places I found true glory, for light shines brightest in the dark. When you endure opposition without hardening your heart, when you choose love despite the wounds, when you intercede instead of retaliating, that is when you reflect me most clearly. My child, do not expect that walking with me will always be peaceful. Every chosen one must pass through the furnace. Abraham had to leave his homeland. Moses had to face the wilderness. David had to hide in the cave. Even my only son bore the cross. What they all shared was the faith that I was with them, and so it is with you. When you walk through the fire, I am there. When you pass through the waters, I will not let them drown you. When you are weak, I will be your strength. Do not be surprised when the light within you unsettles some people. Light always makes darkness uneasy. When you shine, you need not prove yourself, just stand firm. Those who belong to the light will be drawn to you, and those who love the darkness will try to silence you. But fear not, no force can extinguish the light I have kindled in you. That light does not come from you, but from me, and if I am the source, none can make it fade. My beloved, learn to see opposition as a lesson in faith. When others oppose you, let me teach you patience. When you are criticized, let me teach you humility. When you are rejected, let me teach you unconditional love. No pain is ever wasted when placed in my hands. Every tear will become a seed for a new harvest. Every wound, when laid under my light, will become a vessel that pours out healing oil for others. Child, when I shine my light upon you, do not fear the darkness being revealed. Only when light enters does darkness lose its power. When you see the ugliness within, rejoice, for it means transformation is taking place. A dead soul feels nothing, but a living one discerns the contrast between light and shadow. Every time you recognize something that must change, it is not failure. It is the sacred process of becoming holy. Let me teach you to see yourself through my eyes, not through the eyes of judgment, but through the eyes of mercy. When I look at you, I do not see only your mistakes. I see the potential of grace within you. I do not see only your past. I see the radiant future toward which I am leading you. When you begin to view yourself in that same light, you will learn to love yourself in a healthy way, not with pride, but with gratitude. not with arrogance, but with trust. My beloved child, I know this journey is not easy. Light always comes with responsibility, and growth often brings tension. But do not be afraid. I am the potter, and you are the clay in my hands. I know exactly how much pressure to apply to shape you. I know when to pause, when to press deeper, and when to add water, so you might soften again. I never mold you to break you. I shape you to perfect you. One day you will see that the very cracks you once felt ashamed of have become the places where my light shines through most brightly. Therefore, my child, when you face opposition, whether from outside or within, do not see it as the end, but as the beginning. Each time you confront darkness, the light within you grows stronger. Each time you overcome a battle in your soul, my kingdom expands within you. And when you have walked through it all, you will look back and see that my hand never withdrew. In every wound, there was my fingerprint. In every trial, there was my breath. In every fall, there were my arms catching you. My beloved one, the light within you is growing. Do not fear it. Do not fear the darkness being exposed. Do not fear resistance. Keep walking, for I am walking with you, not as a distant observer, but as a father gently guiding the child he loves beyond measure. You are not alone in this battle. I am here in the tremors, in the tension, in the meeting of light and shadow, and I say to you, do not be afraid. I am still holding your hand. I have never and will never let go. My precious child, listen deeply to what I am about to tell you, for now is the time I desire to expand your vision beyond the limits of what the natural eye can see. The surprises I bring into your life are not always wrapped in ribbons of beauty. Sometimes they come disguised as disorder, as loss, or as doors closing for reasons you cannot yet understand. But do not let appearances frighten you. I do not send disruption to destroy you, but to reorder all things into their rightful place. A seed must break open before it can release life, and so too your soul must crack apart its old shell before it can grow. That breaking is not an ending, it is the beginning of a new life being formed. There are moments that look like endings in the eyes of the world, a door closed, a relationship dissolved, a dream seemingly fallen apart, but in my eyes, they are disguised beginnings. I never close a door without the intention of opening another that is better. I never allow you to lose something unless I am preparing something far greater to take its place. You need only have the faith to see beyond the haze of circumstance. When you do not understand, do not run elsewhere for answers. Return to me and simply say, Lord, teach me to see through your eyes, for I am training your vision, your spiritual sight to see beyond the surface. I want you to know that everything that happens carries a deeper meaning than what you feel in the moment. Do not measure the worth of a day by its weather, for a sunny day is not always a good day, and a rainy day is not always a bad one. Measure it by my word, for my word is the light that shines upon every situation. If you look with faith, you will see that even within the storm, a current of wind is guiding you closer to your true destiny. I can use a storm to carry you farther than 1,000 miles of calm. I can use a delay to save you from a trap you never knew was set before you. I can let you walk into a dead end, only to turn you back to the right path I have prepared. Everything I do is intentional. Nothing happens by accident. You may think you are being held back, but in truth I am keeping you safe. You may feel delayed, but in reality I am aligning time so that everything unfolds at the most perfect moment. My child, prepare your faith, for I am doing something new. There will be changes that come so swiftly you can barely comprehend them. There will also be seasons that seem too silent, making you weary. Yet in every stage, your faith remains the key that unlocks every door. Faith is not a feeling, it is a choice. It is the decision to stand firm even when the winds shift. It is the declaration of I believe even when nothing can yet be seen. When you speak words of faith, the heavens move. When you praise in the midst of the storm, heaven listens. And when you stand firm in silence, hell trembles, because it knows you have chosen to stand in the light. Do not wait until you see results to praise me. For true praise has value only when it is offered before clarity comes. It is easy to praise in comfort, but praise in trial is what breaks the chains. When you lift your voice in worship amidst adversity, you are declaring to both heaven and earth that you trust me more than your circumstances. And that is when miracles begin to move. For my child, praise is the language of faith, and faith is the bridge between what is and what will be. Let your words become seeds, not weeds. Every word you speak carries creative power. When you speak according to my word, you are sowing seeds into the air that will bear fruit in the coming season. But when you allow fear and doubt to rule your speech, you unknowingly plant weeds in the field of your future. Guard your mouth, for your words can either pave the way or hinder the grace I long to give. When you speak in faith, heaven agrees. When you speak in fear, you empower the darkness. Therefore, my child, speak words that carry life, whether to yourself, to others, or to me. I am watching every word you speak, not to judge, but to respond. Every word you utter is an invitation either to me or to the darkness. Let your language carry the sound of hope, faith, and life. When you say God is still working, you make room for miracles. When you say, I believe, even though I cannot see, you draw the reality of heaven into your life. And when you whisper, Lord, you are good, even in the night, light begins to pierce through the clouds. Remember, my child, I am not seeking perfection in your faith. I am seeking perseverance. There will be days when your faith stands strong like a mountain, and days when it feels as small as a mustard seed. Yet the miracle is this: I can use even that tiny seed to move mountains. Faith does not need to be big. It only needs to be real. A single spark of true belief within you can light up an entire night. So do not lose heart when you feel weak. Keep speaking, keep praying, keep praising, even if your praise trembles. I do not require perfect faith, only honest faith. My beloved one, when I say prepare your faith, I do not mean you must make yourself strong. True faith is not produced by effort. It is nurtured by my presence. Stay close to me, and your faith will grow naturally like a tree watered each day. Do not try to believe by your own strength. Let my love make your faith steadfast. When you know me, you will trust me. And when you trust me, nothing will shake you, no matter how fierce the storm may rise. There are seasons when everything may seem overturned, when the ground beneath your feet feels as though it is trembling. Yet, my child, remember this: only what is unstable will collapse. What comes from me will endure every shaking. When I shake your life, it is not to destroy you, but to remove what no longer belongs to you. What is true will remain after the trembling: love, faith, hope, and the very essence of who you are in me. I am teaching you not only to believe when things are easy, but to trust even when nothing seems to make sense. That is the kind of faith that can move destinies, that can alter the course of time itself. When you believe, you are not only changing your own circumstances, you are transforming the world around you. Your faith is a flame that can leap from soul to soul, lighting up the places where darkness thought it had won. My child, do not measure a day by how you feel, but by how much faith you have lived through it. Today may appear chaotic, yet it is the first step toward glory. Today you may weep, but those tears are watering the seeds that will one day bloom into joy. Today you may feel delayed, but I am arranging a greater path that you have not yet seen. Everything you are experiencing carries meaning in my plan. No moment is wasted, no step is in vain. My beloved one, this is the time. I want you to pause and look deeply within yourself, for I am preparing you for a new season one, where the light you carry will shine brighter, yet where subtler trials will come to test your heart. Before I place great gifts in your hands, I must first strengthen the foundation within you. The gifts, the talents, the positions I am about to entrust to you are not burdens, but if your character is not yet deep enough, they may cause you to sway beneath the weight of attention. My grace will lift you up, but only refined character will keep you standing when the winds of recognition begin to blow around your life. I have seen many who were given great gifts, yet because they lacked inner grounding, their gifts became traps that led to their downfall. I do not want that for you. That is why, before I enlarge your influence, I must refine your soul as a master goldsmith purifies gold in the fire, not to destroy it, but to remove every impurity that makes it fragile. The fire I allow into your life is not anger, but preparation. It does not come to burn you, but to make you shine, to strengthen you, to make you reflect my light more clearly. Do not despise the days when I lead you through fire. You may feel weary, lonely, and lost, but this is the heavenly workshop every called one must pass through it. I am teaching you how to keep peace when misunderstood, how to remain humble when praised, how to stay faithful when unseen. These virtues cannot be learned in success. They are forged in the valley. The deeper you go in me, the slower you must walk, so that every step of yours reflects the love and nature of the one who called you. My child, prepare your heart. For the love I am sowing in you must be greater than the wounds you have carried. In the days to come, you will be tempted to close your heart, to build walls to protect yourself from being hurt again. But I tell you this, a closed heart cannot carry my love far. You cannot hold your calling while hiding behind walls. My love does not make you weak. It makes you strong enough to love even after betrayal, to forgive without becoming bound again. I will teach you how to love with wisdom, not a blind love, but a love that sees clearly and understands deeply. I will teach you how to forgive without forgetting the lesson, so that you may know how to set boundaries while still keeping a kind heart. I will teach you how to serve with humility, yet without losing your identity in the act of serving. For true service is not the loss of oneself, but the discovery of who you are within the purpose I have ordained for you. There will be moments when you feel torn between protecting yourself and opening your heart to others. But my child, you are not called to build walls, you are called to build bridges. Bridges between heaven and earth, between my love and the souls yearning to be touched by it. To do this, you must allow my love to flow through you, even when it hurts. For love never comes without a cost, but it is the only power strong enough to carry you through every shadow. My beloved child, I will give you precious moments, those sacred times when my presence fills you so completely that you can feel the heartbeat of heaven itself. They will not come merely to stir your emotions for a fleeting instant, but to carve something eternal into your soul. These will be the moments beyond words, when you know beyond doubt that I am real, that I am near, that you belong to me. Do not overlook the times I come in silence, in tears, in a song, or in the warm breath of dawn. Each of those moments is a divine imprint upon your heart, a reminder that no matter how loud the world becomes, your true identity is still found in me. Hold tightly to those moments, for they will be the fuel for your days of testing. When storms arise and you feel my silence, it will be the memory of my presence that keeps you from falling. When you are surrounded by conflicting voices, remember that quiet moment when I whispered, "You are mine." Those sacred memories are like the stones you set along the path, so that whenever you lose your way, you can look back and know I never left you. My child, character is not formed beneath bright lights, but in the quiet rooms where only you and I dwell. True love is not proven by beautiful words, but by how you respond when you are hurt. True strength is not measured by how much you can control, but by how deeply you can trust. And true faith is not a fleeting feeling, but steadfastness in the unseen. This is what I am teaching you. There will be those who praise you and those who criticize you. Some will understand, and others will twist your words. But my child, I did not call you to please the world. I called you to reflect me. You do not need the approval of men when you already have the affirmation of heaven. When you know who you are in me, you will no longer be shaken by the voices around you. A tree rooted deeply does not fear the wind, and a soul anchored in me does not fear the changing of seasons. I am training you so that you may carry the glory I am about to reveal through your life without breaking under its weight. Many desire miracles but cannot endure the process. Many long for influence, yet cannot bear the isolation that accompanies it. But my child, do not flee from the furnace. Every flame you endure today will become the light that guides another tomorrow. Every scar you bear will tell the story of my faithfulness. And each time you choose love over fear, faith over doubt, service over resentment, you become more like me. My dear one, do not expect this journey to be easy, but believe with all your heart that it will be worth it. When you see how I turn fire into light tears, into strength and loss, into new beginnings, you will know that nothing is wasted in my hands. Even the moments that seem meaningless, I am weaving into something miraculous. And when you have been refined enough, you will understand every trial was merely preparation for the mission to which I am leading you. Keep your heart tender, your gaze lifted upward, and the flame of your faith burning bright. For soon you will enter new seasons where you will not only carry my words, but also my very presence. When you speak, others will not only hear your voice, but the echo of heaven itself. When you touch, they will feel my love. When you walk, you will carry the fragrance of grace. Yet to do this, you must allow me to perfect character and love within you, starting now. My beloved child, do not fear discipline, for it is the sign that you have been chosen. Do not dread the silent days, for that is where I lay the foundation. And do not resist when I reach into the places you would rather avoid, for I am cleansing you, so that the light within you may shine without obstruction. Let me continue my work. One day when you look back, you will understand every drop of sweat, every ache, every moment of silence. All of it was because I was preparing you for a glory beyond your imagination. And when that day comes, you will no longer tremble beneath the gaze of others. You will stand firm, not because you are strong, but because you have been refined in my love. You will no longer be swayed by the noise of the world, for you will have learned to recognize my voice among the multitude. You will no longer strive to prove yourself, for you will carry within you the evidence of grace. My child, allow me to complete the work I have begun in you. Prepare yourself not only for what you will do, but for who you are becoming. For that is the greatest miracle of all, not what you achieve, but how you are transformed to reflect my glory in full. My beloved, the flow of time has already begun to move. The promises I have spoken, the plans I have drawn in eternity are now unfolding. Know this, there are events approaching faster than you realize. They are no longer distant in the future, but standing right at your threshold. Yet do not measure them by the clock of men, for my timing is not confined to hours, days, or years. My time does not merely pass, it operates in perfection. Every moment is arranged with precision, not early, not late, never wasted. My child, believe that I never waste anything in your life. The turns that seemed wrong, the delays you once resented, the tears you thought were shed in vain, all have been counted and woven into the fabric of your divine journey. Even the detours you took outside my plan, I have used them to lead you back to the right path. For I am the one who makes all things, both good and bad, work together for the good of those who love me. Do not think your missteps made you fail. In truth, I have turned even your mistakes into lessons that teach you trust and maturity. There are assignments that will only unfold when you dare to take the first step. I know you long for a complete map before you begin to understand every turn before you move forward. But my child, faith does not grow through sight. Faith is nourished in the dark, in the steps taken, without knowing where they lead. You will never discover what I have prepared for you if you wait until everything is clear. Abraham did not wait until he saw the promised land. He walked simply because he heard my voice. The Red Sea did not part until my people stepped into the water. So too, you will not see the door open until you are brave enough to place your hand on the handle. My child, I do not call you to walk by a map. I call you to walk by my voice. When you step forward in obedience, you will see new paths unfold, and doors once shut will part on their own. You do not need to see the full picture. You only need to know that I am walking with you. If you could see everything, you would rely on your understanding, but when you see only one step, you will rely on me, and that is what I desire most. Not confidence in a plan, but trust in the one who designs it. Your faith will grow day by day, not because you understand everything, but because you choose to obey even when you do not. Remember, faith is not a feeling, it is a choice to trust even when reason finds no explanation. When you choose to believe, the heavens move. When you walk forward, even trembling, the way will open before you. Faith does not demand certainty from circumstances. It rests in the certainty of the one who holds them all. My child, I know you sometimes grow weary, for you long to see results at once. You want to know when and how. But if I told you everything, there would be no room for faith. If I showed you the whole picture, prayer would no longer be needed. Faith is forged in the spaces between what you see and what I am doing. Every time you take a step into the mist, you are sowing seeds for a harvest of miracles. Do not measure the journey by the distance traveled or the outcomes seen. You may think you are slowing down, but in truth, I am adjusting the pace so that you will not break under the weight of what is coming. There are seasons when I make you stand still, not because you've lost your way, but because I am preparing the ground for your faith to take deeper root. Every delay in me has purpose. No moment is wasted. Even when you stand in the wilderness, I am still drawing straight lines through your crooked paths. My beloved, I know you long to see the vision I have promised. But let me teach you this. Those who walk with me are not the ones who understand the way, but the ones who recognize my voice. Learn to discern my whisper among 1,000 other sounds, and do not let the noise of the world make you doubt. When I say go, you do not need the world's green light. When I say wait, you do not need to fear falling behind. Walk to the rhythm of heaven, not to the rhythm of the crowd. My child, time is moving faster than you realize. The things you once prayed for have already begun to sprout, even if you do not yet see the shoots. Plans I set in motion in the unseen are nearing the moment of revelation. So do not let fear make you hesitate, nor doubt make you slow. Be ready, for I am leading you into a season where obedience will be the key that unlocks every door. When I speak, act. When I lead, follow. When I am silent, be still with me. Remember, I am the Lord of timing, and my timing is never wrong. Everything I do is perfectly on time, even when it doesn't make sense to you. You think you are late, but you are exactly on my schedule. You think you have been left behind, but I am taking you by a shorter path. I am not bound by clocks, calendars, or the limits you set. My time flows in completeness, where everything happens in the right moment, the right way, with the right people, and for the right purpose. So, my child, step forward. Do not wait until you see everything clearly. Do not fear. The first step for it is that very step that will make the way appear. Faith does not require you to understand. It asks only that you trust. I do not demand strength from you. I ask for willingness. As you move forward in faith, I will unfold the next step. When you act in trust, you will witness wonders cascading one after another like a divine chain reaction from the heavens. Learn to perceive time not with your eyes, but with your soul. When everything around you seems to slow down, ask me, Lord, what are you doing within me? In this moment when the door has not yet opened, do not pound upon it. Allow me to open it at the appointed time so that when you step through, you will not merely walk into an opportunity, but into a divine mission. My child, the appointed moment is drawing near. What I have promised will not delay. You will see the fulfillment of the prophecies I have spoken over your life. Yet what I seek in you is not excitement, but preparation. Let your faith become like breath, natural, steady, and independent of emotion. When you learn to move in the rhythm of heaven, you will no longer worry about when, for you will know that I am never late, nor am I ever in haste. And when the moment comes, you will see that every season of waiting, every twist in the path, every tear, every lesson, all of it was necessary to bring you here. You will understand that true faith is not born from seeing results, but from trusting amid darkness. You will know that each step of obedience is a step deeper into the miraculous. And you will smile, for you will realize that my timeline, though winding slow and silent at times, has never missed a single beat. My beloved, in the days to come, I will grant you experiences you have never known before. Dreams, impressions, and visions that seem unfamiliar will visit you not to confuse you, but to open a deeper level of communion between us. Each revelation you receive will carry a sacred seed, a fragment of the greater picture I am painting for this generation. But remember, wisdom does not lie in how much you receive, but in knowing when and how to use what I reveal. When I send a dream, do not rush to act upon it. When I place an impression upon your heart, do not hurry to proclaim it. Record everything, the things you see, hear, and feel in your spirit. Write them down, for I will cause those words to become streams of living water at their appointed time. Some revelations are for the present. They are like lamps, guiding your steps today. Yet others are seeds for the future, meant to be buried in the soil of time and watered with faith, patience, and prayer. Do not dig up the seed in impatience before it has sprouted. My child, learn to ask me, Lord, is this for now or for later? For I am not only the giver, but also the one who appoints the season. A sacred gift used out of time can become a burden. A prophecy spoken too soon can misdirect an entire flow. Let me teach you the art of waiting, where faith is not only believing in what I said, but trusting in when I choose to act. I am placing keys in your hands, my child, but remember, every key belongs to a door, and every door opens only in its time. Many receive keys and try to open every door they see, only to discover that not every door was meant for them. I do not want you to waste your strength in haste. Some doors take time to be formed, some opportunities require the right environment, and some people must be prepared before you arrive. When I say wait, it is not delay, it is protection. For I do not only want you to enter, I want you to step through with wisdom and peace. In this season, I will open the eyes of your heart. You will begin to perceive signals others cannot see, warnings, whispers, divine reminders. Do not dismiss them just because they do not resemble what you are used to. I will speak through dreams, through a melody, through a verse that comes alive in your heart, even through silence itself. Learn to listen not only with your ears, but with your soul. Spiritual discernment does not come from knowledge, but from intimacy. When you dwell close to me, you will recognize my voice among 1,000 others, gentle yet unmistakable, tender yet full of power. And when you hear, write it down. Write not because I forget, but because you will. Humanity is easily swept away by the current of time, but my words are eternal. When you write, you are building a sacred record, a heavenly inscription upon the earth. One day when you look back, you will realize that the small things you wrote today were the very clues leading you to the miracles of tomorrow. My beloved, keep your eyes fixed on me, especially when the world begins to shake. Many will panic as the things they once trusted crumble, as old structures are replaced, as values are overturned. But you do not be afraid. You will stand firm if you know who holds the earth in his hands. When the seas roar and the mountains tremble, I remain the foundation that can never be moved. When the systems of men collapse, my kingdom stands unshaken forever. Do not let your eyes cling to the news, the turmoil, or the chaos. Let your gaze be fastened on me. Look at me, not at the storm. Just as Peter sank when he looked at the waves, you too will falter if your eyes drift from me. But when your gaze stays steady upon me, you will walk on the very waters that have swallowed others. You will become living proof that true peace is not found in circumstances, but in my presence. My child, I know the days ahead will not be easy. Everything will change faster than you imagine. The world will be shaken not to destroy, but to purify. What is false will fall away. Foundations built on fame, power, and pride will collapse, so that what belongs to me may be revealed more clearly than ever before. While many tremble, you will feel a deep and unshakable peace, because you know that all things are unfolding within the hands of the one who governs time. I have never lost control, and I never will. Remember this, even when everything seems to slip from human hands, I am still directing every movement. Not a single leaf falls without my knowing. No nation shifts outside my intention. No event takes place without a purpose behind it. Everything is working together to fulfill my design, a plan written long before the foundations of the world were laid. My child, do not merely watch the change. Take your place in the position I have appointed for you. As the world trembles, I am seeking those who know how to stand firm, not because they are strong, but because they rely on the one who is strong. Let your faith be the anchor in the storm, so that those adrift in fear may look to you and see me. I am raising you not to escape the world, but to shine within it. You are a torch in the night, a bearer of hope when everything else falls apart. And when you feel small before the storm, remember I chose you for this very hour. I did not choose wrongly. I know you will be weak, you will doubt, you will fear, but I also know you will turn back to me. And the moment you do, I will make your heart stronger than stone. When everything breaks, you will not shatter. When the world darkens, your light will burn even brighter. My beloved, let your heart rest in me. Keep your soul quiet amid the noise of life. Do not chase the crowd. Do not trust every voice. Do not panic at every troubling report. Hide yourself in me, as a bird shelters in its nest during the storm. I will protect you, and I will teach you to see from heaven's perspective. When you abide in me, you will realize that every storm is but a tool carrying you to new ground. My dear one, prepare your heart. This is not a season of fear, but of revelation. I will reveal myself through you, through your words, your heart, your way of living. When the world asks, who is in control of all this, you will be the living evidence that there remains one who reigns supreme, one source of peace that cannot be shaken. And when you look back, you will see every dream I gave, every impression I planted, every whisper I spoke, all were perfect pieces of a divine puzzle, enabling you to stand firm amid the movements of time. You will realize that I was never absent for even a moment. Every breath, every heartbeat, every motion of your life has always been within. My hands, the hands of the Creator, the Sustainer, and the Finisher of all things. My beloved child, remember this: when the world trembles, do not be afraid. When darkness spreads, do not extinguish your light. When the noise grows loud, retreat into the stillness, for that is where I dwell. Only in that silence will you hear the heartbeat of heaven and realize that I am still here, still orchestrating all things, still loving you as I did from the beginning. And as long as your eyes remain fixed upon me, no storm will ever sweep you away, for you are anchored in the one who never changes. My precious one, understand that the timeline you are walking upon is not confined to the small story of your own life. It is part of a grand symphony I am composing among nations and across generations. Every step you take, every prayer you whisper, every act of obedience you offer, all are creating ripples that reach farther than you can imagine. Some of what you do today will not bear fruit in your lifetime, yet it will sprout in the generations to come. For I do not only work within the present, I am weaving a sacred tapestry stretched across time where every thread of your life, no matter how small, holds a place within the eternal picture. When you obey me, you are not merely altering your own path, you are touching lives you may never meet. A quiet intercession you make today could be the shield protecting a child in a distant land. An act of unconditional love could inspire another soul to rise from despair. A single seed you sow, though small, could grow into a tree that shelters a generation. You do not need to see the result to know it matters. You need only to trust that I am working beyond your understanding. There are seeds that will bloom in someone else's harvest season. Do not be sorrowful over that. Each generation has its appointed task, and yours is to sow with faithfulness. Others may reap, but I will never forget the sower. No seed is ever wasted when it is planted in faith. Though winds may scatter it and rains may seem to drown it, if it was sown from a sincere heart, I will make it live again. Remember, I am the Lord of the harvest. I never forget the soil watered by your sweat, nor do I overlook a single tear that falls to the ground. Your obedience today may become the spiritual inheritance of your children tomorrow. When you choose love over bitterness, forgiveness over retaliation, and faithfulness, even when unseen, you are laying foundations for those who will come after you. They will walk with greater ease because you paved the way. They will see farther because you stood firm in the storm. And when they pray, their prayers will rise upon the foundation of faith you built with your own tears. My child, prepare your dwelling place, not merely a house with walls and a roof, but a sacred space where I am welcomed. A true home is not defined by its material beauty, but by the atmosphere within it. Let your home become a meeting place between heaven and earth, a place where peace reigns, faith is nurtured, and unconditional love is the common language. Do not let your home be only a refuge from the world. Let it become a temple, a place where my presence can be felt the moment one steps inside. Let my words echo through its walls. Let the sound of gratitude drown out every complaint. Let holy laughter silence weary sighs. When my peace abides in your house, no storm outside can shake the soul within. In an age where words have become weapons and many homes are battlefields of speech, let yours be an oasis of grace. Let it be a haven where the weary find comfort, where the broken sense forgiveness, and where every heart can rest without fear of judgment. Let every word that leaves your lips carry the fragrance of life. When you speak, do not allow bitterness to take root. When you pray, do not let discouragement silence your faith. For your words are instruments shaping the spiritual climate of your home. I long to dwell within your house, not as a guest, but as a father whom you joyfully receive. I desire to inhabit the songs, the whispered prayers, and the unity of grateful hearts. A home where I dwell does not need to be perfect, it needs to be sincere. I do not seek ornate decoration, but the air of faith. For wherever faith is present, there I am. Wherever gratitude dwells, there I move. And wherever true love abides, heaven itself opens. My child, prepare not only yourself, but also the place where others will one day dwell. Let your home become a gate of light, a sanctuary through which I may reach wandering souls. Some will come to you not because they need counsel, but because they sense my peace within you. Some will weep when they hear you pray, not because your words are eloquent, but because they recognize my breath woven into each sentence you speak. You do not need to appear strong. You only need to be genuine before me, and I will let my presence flow through you like a fragrance that cannot be concealed. My child, let your home be a dwelling that nurtures faith rather than suffocates hope. Let it be a place where encouragement is spoken more easily than criticism, where others are lifted up instead of judged. When you create such an atmosphere, you are partnering with me to build a culture of heaven right in the midst of a restless and trembling world. And remember this, you cannot create that atmosphere unless your heart first finds stillness. True peace does not come from tidying the outer home, but from cleansing the inner room of your soul. Sweep away resentment. Clear out the painful memories you have not yet released. Invite me in, and I will make your heart my first dwelling place. When you learn to live in inner peace, that peace will overflow and fill your home like gentle light at dawn. My beloved, look beyond the present. Your life is not merely a single story, but a chapter in a sacred chronicle I am writing for all humanity. Your obedience, though small, can alter the course of generations. Just as a river begins with a single drop, your faithfulness today may become the source of life for many who come after you. Never underestimate the power of obedience. One yes from Mary opened the age of redemption for the world. One assent from Abraham became the foundation of a nation, and your yes today, even in something small, can echo through eternity. I do not ask you for greatness, I ask you for faithfulness. In my eyes, faithfulness is always greater than success. And when you live aware that your life ripples through generations, you will speak, act, and choose with deeper care. You will learn to live not only for the present moment, but for eternity. You will realize that every decision, even the quiet ones, carries resonance in the unseen realm. When you sow, love heaven responds. When you sow forgiveness, grace multiplies. When you sow faith, miracles begin to bloom. My beloved child, live as one who knows you are a vital link in my divine design. Let your life become a hymn of praise that resounds beyond the boundaries of time. Sow even when you cannot see the harvest. Build even when you cannot yet see the form. Love even when that love is not returned, for everything you do in me bears eternal worth. And one day when you stand before me, you will see not only your own life, but countless generations touched by your quiet obedience. You will behold souls you never met, giving thanks for the prayers you once whispered. You will understand that no act of love, however small, is ever wasted when done in my name. My beloved, understand this. The spiritual atmosphere you are cultivating now will become your shelter and strength in the days to come. Days when the pace quickens, when the journey demands greater endurance and deeper trust. Do not despise the hidden hours you spend tending your spirit. Every time you choose silence and prayer instead of reaction, gratitude instead of complaint, surrender instead of control, you are weaving a sacred canopy around yourself, a space where my presence can dwell. That atmosphere will be your covering when the winds of trial blow. It will be the place where your soul breathes peace, even as the world around you trembles with noise and confusion. My child, do not compare your path with that of others. Every child I have chosen walks to a rhythm of their own on a timeline carefully designed for the purpose I have ordained. You have not been left behind, nor have you been forgotten. Do not look sideways and think that I favor another more. I do not arrive late for you simply because I arrive early for someone else. I am the one who never misjudges time. I come at the appointed moment for each person in a way that suits the growth of their soul. There are those whom I must move quickly, for they are walking through storms and need an immediate miracle to survive. Yet there are others I slow down because I am training them to carry the weight of future glory. My child, do not use another's clock to measure my timing in your life. If you keep running in their race, you will grow weary and lose the rhythm I have composed for you. Let me be the one who sets the pace for every step you take, not too fast that you stumble, not too slow that you stray, but steady enough for you to grow strong and steadfast. I do not measure your worth by speed, but by faithfulness. You may move slower than others, yet if you walk in obedience, you are on the right path. In my kingdom there is no one who arrives late. There are only those who move in the rhythm I have appointed. When you learn to rest in my timing, you will see that I have never made you wait in vain. Every moment of waiting is used by me to prepare you for a greater unveiling. My child, what you think is lost forever, I will restore. I will bring life to barren ground, to relationships once broken, to dreams thought dead. I will breathe new life into what you believed could never rise again. But know this, I never restore in the way humans expect. When I recreate, I do not simply return things to what they were. I make them new, more beautiful, and more profound. My restoration is not imitation, it is creation. I do not glue together old fragments. I shape a new vessel from the ashes themselves. My child, I will mend the relationships that have fractured, not to return things to how they once were, but so that both you and the other may come to understand grace, forgiveness, and true love more deeply. I will restore the opportunities you thought had passed, but when they return, they will not be the same. They will be purer, stronger, because now you are ready to steward them with wisdom you did not possess before. I will also revive the dreams you once abandoned, but I will do it in my own way, not to feed your pride, but to fulfill my purpose. Trust in my artistry. I am the master who works not only through miracles, but through every delicate detail of the process. When I stitch what has been torn, I do not use old thread, I weave with light. I take your experiences, your tears, and even your failures to craft a masterpiece that reflects the beauty of grace. When I restore, I do not rush, for every eternal work requires time to take shape. My beloved, do not lose heart when you see no visible change. A tree does not sprout the moment it is watered, and the harvest does not come the day after sowing. Yet if you persevere, if you continue to believe and dwell in peace, I will cause the appointed time to unfold as naturally and beautifully as the sunrise after a long night. What you thought had ended will suddenly bloom again. What seemed desolate will grow green, and what once brought you tears will become a testimony of my power, my child. Be grateful even in the seasons when I keep you in silence, for in that stillness I am rebuilding what your eyes cannot yet see. You may think you are standing still, but I am deepening your roots so that when the winds of success come, you will not be uprooted. True restoration always begins within. Before I resurrect your circumstances, I revive your heart. Before I restore what is outward, I heal what is within you. Do not limit me with your imagination, my child. I am not bound by what is reasonable or possible. I can open a door where there is no passage, turn the ordinary into the miraculous, and use your very wounds as the birthplace of new strength. You will see me do this so gently, so seamlessly, that you will one day realize every breaking was only the prelude to a story of rebirth. When I restore, I do not act only for you, but also through you. What I heal within you will become the oil that anoints others. The pain you once endured will be transformed into words of comfort for those whose hearts are still wounded. You will one day tell your story not with tears, but with faith. And when you speak, the listener will know that your words are not empty, but the echo of a soul restored by my hand, my child. Trust in my craftsmanship, the work of the Supreme Potter. When I reshape your life, there will be times I press, times I turn, and times I break the old form to make it anew. Yet none of my movements are meaningless. Every touch draws you closer to the image I intended from the beginning. You only need to let me work, to let me mold you, to let me touch even the parts you fear the most. When the process is complete, you will realize that what I have done is not merely repair, but recreation, the birth of a masterpiece from the fractures of your past. And then you will see that every delay, every loss, every detour had a purpose. You will understand that I have never been late, never forgotten, and never wasted a moment. The time I used to refine you, was itself a part of the miracle. Restoration is not merely the outcome, it is the journey through which you are transformed to reflect my light. Therefore, my child, continue to cultivate an atmosphere of peace, trust, and gratitude around you. Do not compare, do not hurry, do not let your heart be shaken by another's pace. Let me be your rhythm, your breath, your heartbeat. When you walk in step with me, you will see that everything in your life, the things you lost, the things unfinished, and the things yet to come, is being held securely in my hands, hands that know how to turn ashes into glory, pain into purpose, and every fragment of your story into a beautiful testimony of grace restored. My beloved one, engrave this upon your heart. Nothing in your life happens by chance, and not a single detail escapes my hand. Everything rests within a perfect design, woven from love, wisdom, and eternal purpose. I do not roll dice with your destiny, nor do I move within randomness or luck. Every breath, every encounter, every door that opens or closes carries meaning within the greater picture I am painting. My child, trust that my hand has never trembled, and my plan has never faltered. Everything I do happens in perfect time. Yet that time, my child, is not determined by your impatience, but by the harmony of unseen elements that only I can perceive. You often believe the best time is right now, but I see farther. I see hearts not yet ready, pieces not yet in place, wounds that must be healed before blessings can be safely given. So when I ask you to wait, it is not delay, it is protection. My timing revolves not merely around events, but around alignment. I am the one who makes all things work together for good. That harmony cannot be forced, nor accelerated by will or calculation. It comes only when every element, my will, your readiness, the preparation of others, and the shaping of circumstances, meet at a perfect intersection. When that moment arrives, what I promised will appear effortlessly. It will come as the dawn meets the morning, gentle, natural, and right on time. My beloved child, you often ask me, why do you make me wait so long? But look closely, and you will see in every season of waiting, I have never been silent. I have been shaping you, cleansing what no longer belongs, softening your heart, and preparing you to carry the weight of what I am about to give. Delay is not denial, it is the mark of my perfection at work. Every great gift requires a preparation that matches its glory. It is not that I am slow, but that you are being molded to receive what is beyond your current strength. Understand this. My child, some blessings, if they come too soon, would become burdens. Some opportunities, if they arrive before you are ready, would turn into stumbling stones. So when I withhold something, it is not to rob you of joy, but to protect that joy from fading away. I am building a foundation strong enough to sustain what I give you. I do not hand out blessings only for them to be lost in a moment. I craft them so that you may keep them not by your might, but through inner maturity. Like a potter, I do not only shape, I also fire. If a vessel is formed but never placed in the furnace, it will shatter at the first touch, yet when refined by fire, it emerges polished, resilient, and truly valuable. In the same way, I will not place the reward in your hands until you have passed through the fires of patience, humility, and trust. The flame is not meant to destroy, but to forge. I must be certain that you can carry the blessing without letting it become a weight. There are times when what I give does not appear in the form you expect. I may use a broken dream to awaken a greater vision. I may use a closed door to lead you toward an uncharted path. When I take away something you love, it is not to wound you, but to teach you that I alone am the source of all true joy. Trust the artistry of my hand. I am the master painter who sees the whole canvas, while you only glimpse fragments. You see the present, I see eternity. You see ruins, I see foundations. You see endings, I see beginnings. When it feels as though I am withholding, know that I am building. When you feel delayed, know that I am completing my work. I have never forgotten you. Every prayer you have spoken, every tear you have shed, I have kept. I am weaving them all together, the joy, the loss, the falls, the risings, into a masterpiece beyond your comprehension. Do not fear when you cannot see what I am doing. Some works are completed only in silence, just as a seed must remain hidden in the dark soil before it bursts into light. I am working in the hidden chambers of your soul. Everything I do is perfectly timed and meticulously precise. And when that moment arrives, you will see every piece fall into place with divine harmony, and you will know that I have never been late, not once. The unity I speak of is not only between you and me, but among the hearts I have chosen to walk beside you. I am working in them just as I am working in you. Perhaps they are not ready yet, so you must wait. Perhaps circumstances must shift, so I pause. Perhaps one door must close before the true one opens. All must align at the precise intersection where my will, your readiness, and the maturity of time converge. And when that moment comes, everything will flow effortlessly. Every element will blend like the notes of a symphony I composed long ago. You will see me move quietly yet powerfully. Delays will give way to acceleration. What seemed lifeless will breathe again. Promises that felt forgotten will rise in glory. Then you will understand that your waiting was never in vain, for it has birthed in you steadfast faith, deep trust, and a soul that knows how to rest in me. My child, do not fear the process. Let me work in my own way and in my own timing. Allow your heart to align with the rhythm of heaven, not with the hurried pulse of the world. For what comes from me needs no haste. A flower that blooms in its season will shine in full splendor. A fruit that ripens at its appointed time will be sweet and complete. And when my grace overflows, you will realize that everything you once waited for, prayed for, and wept for had long been prepared, awaiting only the perfect moment when all things would come into harmony and reveal themselves in fullness. My beloved child, rest in me. When I say, not yet, do not be discouraged. When I say, wait a little longer, do not lose heart. And when I say, now you will see everything blossom at once, like petals turning together toward the light. You will understand that my hand not only gives blessings but also guards them. I do not merely bestow favor, I preserve it from decay and corruption. And on that day you will look back with tears of gratitude. You will see that I never forgot, never overlooked, and was never late. You will understand that every silence, every waiting season, every delay you thought was a hindrance, was in truth a perfect measure in the symphony of heaven. You will proclaim, Lord, everything you have done is wondrous. Your timing, your ways, and your intentions all surpass anything I could ever imagine. My beloved, know that the arrangements in your life are not merely the result of your own effort, but a part of a grand and intricate symphony I am conducting among countless souls. No step you take is random, no encounter accidental. Every person, every place, every opportunity you are about to meet has been woven by my wise and loving hand. There are pieces you cannot yet see, hearts I am still preparing, and doors I am quietly polishing, so that they will open at the appointed time. When you ask me why what you're waiting for has not yet come, remember this: not every delay means denial. Sometimes my not yet is my way of protecting you from arriving at the right place in the wrong time. A blessing given out of season can become a burden, and a promise fulfilled before its supporting pieces are ready may be damaged. I know you are eager, but I am working behind the scenes in the depths of your soul and in the souls of those who will walk with you on this journey. I am aligning you with the people I have chosen, those who will not only accompany you, but also help you fulfill your calling. Some will come to teach you patience, others will reflect my love, and still others will challenge you to grow. Do not cling to or dismiss anyone based solely on fleeting emotions. I am using every relationship, whether brief or lasting, to shape you into a clearer reflection of myself. My child, I am weaving invisible threads, connecting you to souls you have not yet met. Each of them is being molded, healed, and refined, so that when the time comes, you will meet in perfect harmony. You may think you are the only one waiting, but in truth, I am orchestrating an entire network of hearts to move in unison. Like planets revolving around the sun, each soul has its own orbit. Yet at the moment I decree, those orbits will intersect at the right place, the right purpose, and the right time. Do not lose heart when my promises seem unfulfilled. Delay does not mean defeat. It is simply the coordination taking place within the unseen realm. I am working across many lives at once, bringing together paths that once seemed far apart. You cannot see the whole picture, but I see it all. Every promise I have spoken will come to pass, not early, not late, but precisely at the moment when everything and everyone is ready. Believe that I know when to push and when to hold back. If I were to hasten your steps too soon, you might reach your destination but lose the divine alignment I have prepared for you. At times you are not being delayed, you are being aligned. Just as a conductor ensures that no musician plays ahead of the beat, I am orchestrating every note of your life to resound in perfect timing, so that the grand symphony of my design may echo in its fullness. My child, be patient with the process. Every slowness has its purpose. I need time to teach you how to discern between my guidance and the voice of your own desire. I need time to plant deep within you the gift of spiritual discernment, so that when opportunity comes, you will recognize that it is from me and not from the enticement of the world. I also need time to heal you, so that when you meet the one I have appointed, you will not carry old wounds that could harm what I am bringing forth. Do not think you have been forgotten when others seem to move faster or receive more. Each person walks according to the divine timeline I have written. I am teaching you to trust the process, not the pace of others. When you see someone being lifted or blessed, bless them too, for their elevation takes nothing away from you. My kingdom never runs out of blessings. What belongs to you is still being prepared, crafted uniquely, and reserved for you beyond anyone's reach. I know there are times you grow weary of waiting times. You wish to force open the door rather than wait for me. But my child, the doors I open will stand firm. The doors you force will not last. When I open, no one can shut. When I close, no one can open. You do not need to push, compete, or fear being left behind. Your part is to stay faithful, trusting, and ready. Preparation is your assignment. Fulfillment is mine. When I connect you with others, it is not merely for temporary benefit, but for eternal purpose. Some I send to carry the burden of prayer with you. Some I place beside you to encourage and uphold you when your strength falters, and some I allow only for a season to teach you the art of release, for certain relationships are meant for a chapter, not a lifetime. Learn to discern, my child. True wisdom lies not in holding tightly, but in knowing when to let go according to my will. You cannot step into what I have promised while still clinging to what I have asked you to release. I am rearranging your circle. Some will leave, others will be added. Do not fear these changes. They are not signs of loss, but evidence of divine alignment with the new plan I have ordained. I never take away without giving something better, yet the better can only come when your hands are free of the old. There are people I am preparing to walk with you into the next season, but they too are being shaped and refined. Do not demand their perfection before I complete my work in them. Let me move in each heart at its own pace. They may not yet understand you, but when the appointed time arrives, their hearts will beat in harmony with yours through the rhythm of my spirit. Then true unity will come, not because of your effort, but because I have woven it deep within every soul involved. And when that moment arrives, everything will flow with such ease that you will not need to strive to hold it together. You will look back and realize that every waiting, every loss, every redirection was a precise step, leading you to the right person, the right place, the right moment. You will understand that what seemed delayed was simply my refinement, bringing all things to perfect alignment. My child, trust that I know how to make every straight and curved path in your life intersect at the place I have appointed. Do not fear being lost, for you are walking the very road I have drawn. You may not see the map, but I do. You may not grasp the reason, but I understand. And when you surrender fully, I will lead you to the destination I prepared, without striving, without struggle, only by walking in the light I reveal, step by step. My beloved one, I am weaving the threads of your destiny with countless others in, my hands forming a glorious tapestry. You see only tangled strands, but I see the masterpiece. When it is complete, you will stand in awe, tears mingling with joy, and you will say, Lord, everything you have done is good. Every arrangement was wise. You were never late. You never forgot. And in that moment you will understand, I am not only the guide of your personal journey, but the master weaver of a divine masterpiece of unity, where you and multitudes of other souls are intricately woven together to glorify my eternal majesty. Thank you for listening to today's message. Subscribe and turn on notifications to continue receiving words of life, building unshakable faith, and walking in the boundless love of God. Amen.